July 20th, 1969. The whole world held its breath. Man was preparing to take a step that had been awaited for millennia. His name is Neil Armstrong. Pilot, engineer, astronaut. The first man to set foot on the moon. Millions watched the live broadcast. Hearts beat in unison. History was being made right before our eyes. And then he took his step and uttered the words that changed the world. A small step for man, but a giant leap for mankind. America celebrated. Armstrong became a symbol of a new era. But few knew that behind the legend lay pain. Because the life of the first man on the moon was far from happy. His story is not only one of glory, it is also one of tragedy. Long before the moon, he suffered a blow from which he never recovered. He lost his daughter. Little Karen got brain cancer. She was only 2.5 years old. The doctors couldn't save her. For Armstrong, it became a wound that never healed. He hardly ever spoke about his daughter, but the memory of her was always with him. There is a story that during the mission, he left Karen's bracelet on the moon, so that his daughter would remain among the stars forever. After the flight, Armstrong changed. He did not want fame. He avoided cameras. His face became increasingly withdrawn. He taught at the university, but even there he remained a shadow of a man. A hero who had withdrawn from the world. A man whom the world never understood. In the eyes of America, he was a legend. A hero who conquered space. But Armstrong himself felt only the weight of this title. He often told his friends, "I was just doing my job. Why do they call me a demigod?" Inside him, emptiness grew. His dream had come true, but it turned out that there was nowhere else to go. He returned to his wife and sons, but his life no longer had the same warmth. Fame had divided him and his loved ones. Neil's wife said he had become a different person. He was withdrawn and quiet, as if he had hidden himself away from the world. He did not participate in advertising, did not write sensational books, did not seek fame. His colleagues earned millions, but he faded further and further into the shadows. He chose teaching. Students saw him as a strict professor, but rarely as a lively, open person. Even there, he seemed cold. Many said this was not the Neil they had seen on screen in 1969. And something else tormented him. America was winding down its space programs. The moon race was over. The enthusiasm had disappeared. He openly criticized NASA. He said that the country had betrayed its dream of space exploration. He kept saying, "We've only taken the first step. But why did we stop?" For Armstrong, it was a tragedy. He saw that his feat had become the end, when it should have been the beginning. His colleagues became television stars and signed contracts. Armstrong, however, remained in the shadows. He chose silence. He hid from the world. But along with silence came loneliness. He returned to engineering. He worked on projects and taught, but the emotional wound remained open. His daughter's shadow was always nearby. He rarely spoke of her, but those close to him knew. He never forgot her for a moment. He understood that his action had become a symbol, but this symbol blocked his path to a normal life. He taught, But even there he was detached. Students saw the legend, but rarely the man. Inside, he remained alone. A hero whom the world had turned its back on, and who had turned his back on the world himself. In the last decades of his life, he almost disappeared from public view. He lived quietly, in seclusion, far from the noise of fame. Only his family knew what he was really like. A kind grandfather, but still as quiet and strict as ever. He hated commerce. He refused to sell his name, and even signed autographs reluctantly. For him, the moon remained not glory, but a memory, a symbol of loss and silence. In 2012, Armstrong's health deteriorated sharply. Doctors fought for his life. On August 25th, 2012, the heart of the first man on the moon stopped beating. The world bid farewell to a hero. Presidents, leaders, millions of people all bowed their heads. But to those close to him, he was not a symbol. He was a human being, broken, lost, and eternally alone. Today, the moon shines just as brightly as it did in 1969, but its first footprint has long been covered by dust. His colleagues remembered him with respect, but almost no one knew what was going on in his heart. The story of Neil Armstrong reminds us that behind every glory, there is always pain. A small step for man, and an eternal tragedy for one man.